What's going on, guys? Gomes here back again on another MLB The Show 19 video, and today I am going to be doing something that I have wanted to do. MLB The Show 19 has been out for about 2 months now. I know the game released on March 23rd, but damn it, it's pretty much 2 months. You guys get the point. And I wanted to do a unbiased review, a completely honest review, my own thoughts and opinions on MLB The Show 19. Of course, we did get our first actual real patch. It took till 1.09. Everything before that was just kind of like minor things with like presentation and so on. But that was our first gameplay patch, and I don't think we're gonna see like a complete gameplay overhaul. I don't think that's really how it works. You know, we are going to see some maybe substantial changes along the way, but I don't think we're just gonna get a complete hitting overhaul, because that's not how most games work, and especially not how MLB The Show has worked in past years. So I'm going to give my own thoughts on the game modes. First, I'll be talking about franchise, then Road to the Show, then Diamond Dynasty, and then finally gameplay. So if you guys only want to see those specific parts, you guys can go ahead and do that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So first, I'm going to be talking about franchise mode. What is there really to say about franchise mode? Because they didn't really add much, and this is one that I'm really not particularly happy about. So I have been doing kind of a little bit of a franchise just by myself, playing it and whatever. I know I did upload one franchise video with Babe Ruth, and I noticed some really bad things in that. So imagine this: you have Babe Ruth. I have pretty much his best stats, so like almost 99 hitting everything. He has 99 potential as well, mind you. And tell me why at like the age of 30 he's already regressing. That doesn't make any sense. If he has 99 potential and he's like a 98 overall, why is he regressing so hard to the point where he's 34 years old and they didn't even want him to start anymore? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If you guys think of like, I guess maybe Albert Pujols would be not the best example, because I mean, he's 38 now. When he was 34, he was still hitting some moonshots like that, but you guys get the point. Like, I just don't think that's how it should work. If he's like 33, 34 years old, he was having 99 potential, one of the best players in the league. How is he already starting to like be a bench warmer? And by the time he's 35, 36, I think, no, it was like 33 that he was a bench warmer, and by like 35, he was literally getting tossed around. Like, nobody wanted him. So like for 5 or 6 years that he was still in the league, he would keep being signed by teams. He was like a 65 overall, and then they would just waive him each spring. So that I really did not like. That's something I definitely noticed that there was a big problem with. And then I also, they didn't add anything in franchise mode. They added contracts. You can back and front load contracts, which is cool. Should have been in the game before. Contract extensions mid-season. Cool. Should have been in the game before. That should not be the focal point. And like the big new features that are added to franchise mode, I know it's probably not easy to do. Create a stadium. You know, it is easy. Create a uniform, create a team. You guys can already do that in Diamond Dynasty, where you can create your own logo, create your own uniforms and team colors. So how can't you just put that into franchise mode? Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not a developer. I'm just sitting here, you know, so maybe I'm missing something, but it seems like a pretty simple thing to put into the game that would add so much more life into franchise mode. And of course, franchise mode's offline partner being Road to the Show. I have played a little bit of that. In my opinion, they did add more stuff than franchise, which is good. They have like those training mini games kind of things. They have in-game challenges, which are cool. But then again, they used to be in the game before, so I'm not going to give you too much props for it, using something that was in your game just a couple years back. So I think Road to the Show is better than it was in previous years. It's still not like a full-blown story mode, but they added more cutscenes. They added more things to have it be realistic. I would still like there be some other thing at the beginning, because of course the rookie showcase doesn't actually happen. I know it's gonna be a long stretch to get college teams or something in there, but maybe just have like the combat. I don't really know if you need the rookie showcase, because that doesn't actually happen, you know. I do like that you do have the option to go to the team that you want to. However, it doesn't really matter, because you get traded so much and you have to move your position. I've seen so many complaints about this, and I think it is something that you really need to look at, because you almost never actually end up on the team that you are. I've seen other content creators. I don't think they're requesting trades every so often. I think it's just the game trading them, even though they're one of the best players, if not the best player on the team, hitting 400. What world would that make sense? Imagine if the Angels just said, okay, we're trading Mike Trout. That doesn't happen, you know? So I think that's something that really has to get a look into. Otherwise, you know, Road to the Show, it's fun. It's a good offline experience. As far as I know, it's still technically the most popular mode. At least it was last year and so many years beforehand. So I would assume that still remains consistent, but I wish they would add a couple new things. I don't know exactly what you would add into there, you know, because a full-blown story mode can work a couple different ways. You can have like FIFA or 2K, or you can have Madden, where it's basically a cutscene simulator and you're just sitting there basically watching a movie. So it is kind of a tough issue. I think if they keep, you know, going towards just, you know, adding more things that you can do off the field, and it doesn't have to be a full-blown story mode, it'll be better. But just yeah, especially fix all the things where you're getting passed around, like nobody wants you, you're changing your position at least once. So change that. That doesn't happen. If I pick shortstop, I want to play shortstop. If I pick to go to the Rays, I want to play for the Rays, not the Orioles. Diamond Dynasty, of course, you guys know that is my flagship game mode that I cover on my channel extensively, and so many other content creators on YouTube and Twitch alike. I'm a big fan of Diamond Dynasty this year. It is miles and galaxies improved. Is that a term that people use? Galaxies? I don't know, but I'm gonna start. It is galaxies improved beyond MLB The Show 18's Diamond Dynasty for so many different reasons. We are getting content updates each and every single week. So far within these 2 months, there has not been one single week where we have not gotten a content update of some sort. Each week we are getting at least 2 new cards, those being high diamonds in packs, albeit, but they are still cool nonetheless. We are getting interactive tops now moments from the last week of baseball, which really immerses you from real baseball into the video game. We have each month these new inning programs. The third inning program just dropped, featuring 3 signature 99 overalls that you can complete for absolutely free, and it's not one of those like grind till you drop things either. If you just play the game pretty consistently throughout the entire month that you have, you're going to get a free 99 overall. So I am a huge fan of that. They're adding new conquest maps like every 2 weeks or so. So many new things that they are adding into the game. Then you have like the Sony partner moments, which we got like a 90 free Cliff Lee and an 88 free Ken Griffey Jr. So I really am a big fan. It's consistent content. It's good content. The only thing I'm concerned about possibly is that they're adding so many good cards. You know, really what's the rest of Diamond Dynasty going to look like? Because if we're already seeing free 99 overall signatures and it's not even June yet, what is August going to look like? What's September going to look like? That's the only thing I'm concerned about. Otherwise, content I think is very, very good. As far as Diamond Dynasty in and of itself, there is a couple issues that I guess I would say are there. I know some people have had problems with more so ranked seasons. They don't exactly like how the match, or not the matchmaking, but kind of the rating system, because I know it can be a little bit unfair. I know a couple people told me once you get high up into like the 1,000 ranking, if you're, let's say if you're 1,000 rated and you play somebody 900 rated, so you're still in World Series, you're still matching up with somebody in the same division. If you lose that game, you lose like 25-30 points. If you win, you gain like 4 or 5. So that, it's just like, really, what's the point? So for those top guys, and I know this is an extreme minority that I'm talking about, but you guys have to understand, like, what's the point of them trying to play a game? Because if they lose, they're gonna get dropped a lot. But if they win, you know, it's really like nothing happened. 4 or 5 points is really nothing. So otherwise, Diamond Dynasty, I think they're doing really well. I wish the events would be a little bit better, at least for the reward cards. I know they are adding events about every week, every 2 weeks. Those could be a little bit more consistent, but otherwise, ranked seasons is fun, BR is fun, events is fun, the content is great, and they're adding both stuff for people that try to spend money on the game and those who, you know, strictly grind, the online players and the offline players. So I'm a real big fan of Diamond Dynasty, probably the best one that I've witnessed since I started doing this in MLB The Show 15. Oh, but this video would not be complete until we talked about the gameplay. Everybody's favorite part. Of course, I've made a specific video talking about how I think they could improve the gameplay. If you guys want to watch that video, top right corner, I'm going to go full in depth of the gameplay there. I'm just going to touch on a couple things in this one. I know there are still some fielding issues, which is kind of ridiculous in my point. If I have a gold or a diamond fielder, I straight up should not be bobbling balls. I should not be missing fly balls, not catching it. The reason for that being is because me as a player, there's nothing I can do to control that. You know, there's no button to press to field ground ball. There's no button to press to squeeze glove. So if I do my job and put a good defender out there, there should be no repercussions. There should be no possible chance that I'm going to be making an error. And I know you're going to say it's possible, but this is a video game. If I have Andrelton Simmons with 99 fielding, he should feel like literally the best player that you have. And even if I have somebody like Jose Reyes, who's made multiple errors, who has like 85 fielding at shortstop, once again, he really should not be making those errors. The comparison and the contrast between Andrelton 99 and Jose should be Andrelton should get a little bit smoother and faster animations than Jose, but neither of them should miss routine balls. As far as the fielding differential for those bad and poor fielders, such as the JD Martinez, I think it's fair. If you guys want to have his big bat, guys are going to have to face repercussions. There's no designated hitter in Diamond Dynasty, so that's really just how it is. If you want to use him, you're going to have to suffer the consequences and have him be very poor defensively. Maybe they could change it a little bit, but in my opinion, it's fair. You know, if you don't have somebody with at least like 65 fielding, you are going to suffer and it's not going to be fun. So it really just encourages people to play players in position, because finally they had a system where if you have players out of position, their fielding stats will go down, and to also have decent defenders out there as well. As far as pitching goes, one thing that should be thrown out the window is the pitch speed differential online. That doesn't make any sense. So you're telling me if I'm at 699, the pitch speeds are going to go this fast, and then once I get to 700, they're going to go that much faster. It's really confusing and hard to judge exactly, and the differential between like Legend and All-Star is really big. I know some people might be a fan of this. It's just really weird as you jump throughout divisions, and it's just hard to get used to, because if I play 2 games consecutively and I go up from the 600 rated to 700, it's just going to go so much faster, and there's no time I can prepare for that. So I think they need to make it clearer that the difficulty is going up throughout, and then something has to be done with Battle Royale, because it's played on All-Star throughout, and All-Star is really random. It's kind of like a circus out there, so something should be done about that. Wind is another big issue, because sometimes the wind makes home runs impossible. Sometimes they make it every single at bat as a home run. In my opinion, wind should probably just be taken out of Diamond Dynasty. I know it's realistic at baseball, but at the same point, this is an online simulated game, so in my opinion, wind should be taken out. Then moving on to stadiums, we had a big problem for so long about there being added delay or latency in MLB stadiums. They said in the patch notes of 1.09 that was fixed. I'm not completely sure, because I've been still playing on minor league stadiums. That's just what I like. I played on minor league stadiums last year without latency as well, so you guys can let me know about that in the comment section. Then moving on to hitting, which is the most important part of gameplay. So in my opinion, hitting is still very bugged. It still feels very wonky. Almost even more so, to the point where I remember the first game that I played, I had Tony Gwynn. I wasn't on the ball. My PCI literally was not touching the ball, and I was early, no doubt home run. Off of, who was it? It was like Jacob deGrom, so 89 overall starting pitcher. How does that work? If I'm not even touching the ball with my PCI, and I don't mean like I was under it, no, I mean like my PCI, baseball. And I was early, no doubt home run. And even worse, it was back-to-back with Hobby Bias, who it was about PCI, baseball, so right on the very edge. Early, once again, another no-doubt home run. It just feels really weird. At some points, it feels maybe it's a little bit better, maybe it's even a little bit worse. So we're going to have to play around with that a little bit more. I know they're probably going to, they already said they will have a patch 1.11. We'll have to wait and see if gameplay improves then, but I don't really know. I feel hitting is kind of going to stay where it is, and it probably won't change too much. But of course, that leads us into our final rating for MLB The Show 19. I think I'm going to do a rating 1 through 10. right now, at this current state, all things being considered, barring Road to the Show franchise, they're not going to get anything new. Nothing's going to be added to Lowe's. Diamond Dynasty, it's great. I don't have any reason to believe that content is just going to fall out the window and that they're just not going to do more content throughout the year. I believe that they're still going to be doing weekly content throughout at least the MLB season. So that being said, alongside the gameplay, a little bit of a touchy subject. It could improve, could stay the same, could get even worse. I ain't going to say what the gameplay is at now. All things being considered, out of 10, I give the game probably a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Maybe that is a little bit because I'm a content creator myself. I'm a big fan of Diamond Dynasty. That really holds a lot of weight in my opinion. It could be a 6.5 to a 7. That is for the gameplay, which I don't hate, but I don't love. And then Road to the Show, or not Road to the Show, specifically franchise. There's really no, unless you just want to like do a rebuild or something, which even that is flawed because if you have a big prospect, they're just going to regress by the time they're 32 years old. So franchise is a big issue. They really need to spend some time into that. And there's no online franchise either. You guys already know that. Road to the Show didn't receive too many great improvements. Diamond Dynasty is a lot of fun, and then gameplay could use a lot of work. I'm going to say in total a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. Now, I know maybe you think it's higher, maybe you think it's lower. I think it is a 7 out of 10, which would be, you know, a pretty good game. You know, I'm not going to say like on the school grading system where that's like a C, it's just average. I would say it's pretty good. It's better than 18 and 17 in my opinion. Let me know down below in the comments how you guys feel about MLB The Show 19. What would you rate it out of 10? Would you rate it higher than a 7, lower than a 7? Let me know down below in the comment section. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like down below. Hope you guys are good today. And there guys, out. Yay!